No, sir. Well, Father, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Tom and Laura, I'd like to welcome you all here today on this special occasion. I would like to welcome Tom and Laura's parents and all the friends that travelled all the way from Bray. Laura's relations that travelled here from England today, lads. Tom came here, lads, for a short stay. He's enjoyed it. He didn't go back. I was doing a cheer for that into this reading now. Sorry, John. Lads, I hope they have a happy life together, Tom and Laura, and I wish you very well. I must say anything about Tom. When the first night I met Tom came to Dunmore Hall with a great friend of ours, sailing his boat. He came into bed this night, and I couldn't forget Tom because he was wearing pants this night. You could play chess in it. Oh, it was something else. He wanted it, so you know. But Tom got cute and Tom came great friends with Dee and Daniel. So this night, Tom decided to go into the pavilion. It's a nightclub in Skibbereen. And the three boys were having a great night. Next, all of a sudden, there's a couple of girls in the corner. One of the girls, she came over to Tom and she said, "Tom, would you like to dance with my friend?" And this friend happened to produce Laura, Tom, Lee's sister. Well, I think Lee was pretty fast one there. But as he informed me this minute, when he know afterwards, his car was rocking and shaking. Well, Tom wanted not to say that, but I didn't put that into it. Then after this, Tom started fishing. Then, Tom, you caught the fish that night, I think. It was a wonderful catch, actually, Tom. Then he started walking the bar, and Tom did he said he wanted to go with his own, so he bought this big red pen. Tom was out cutting grass, doing everything. So he said to Laura this evening, he said, "Laura, I'll take you for a swim in the van," he said. So, where did Tom go? Tom headed for one of his shot. And Laura said, "Geez, this is beautiful here," he said. "Will you drive down here a small bit further?" So they drove down to the sand dunes. I think the van was rocking and rolling in that night. Sorry, Laura. But about 2 hours later, they decided to head back for Dunmore Hall. So Tom started up the van would not move. Tom put on the accelerator, the van sunk in the sand. Next Tom said, "Cute now, ring Johnny Maloney." So rang Johnny, he said, "Don't tell no one." He said, "Could you come over and put me out of this?" And at the same night I was on my own the ballads. So I met this great friend of mine and I said to him, "Do us a big favour there, Thomas took over and only he should have said, could you pull him out?" So your man got a rope in the car and then he had this old car and a ton rope take you over and I went to Tom, tied the rope onto the car, not a budge out the car at all. So your man said, "Tom," he said, "Oh, you know a lot of people around here, Tom," he said. Oh, Tom said, "No, I tried every farmer I could get on to pull me out." Of course, the farmer came down and God, he said, "What he did with the car?" He said, "She won't put anything out at all." The man came down and he had the digger, he did dig the car out of it, the van out of it. That was fine and it was 6 months later and the gardening, it went so for Tom, so Laura got a new job, so of course Tom said, "I'll buy her a little car." So he bought her a lovely Fiesta. So of course they went down Dunmore Hall, they look at everything. He said, "Laura, I must take you out to read." He said, "It's a lovely spot out there," he said. that's it. This was late in the evening. It was very late. Down back the car. There's this neighbour. She could see the car going. They said, there's someone going to the end. So she rang the guards. Because I wanted to know who the guard was, but this guard came out. And he was out of the car. And he was... oh, he got off. Enjoying the scene with us. And he had me sniffing over the same guard. I won't tell you who he is. No, that's on a serious note. Tom Collins is one gentleman and an absolutely great friend of mine. Next to the word, Laura, the boy. Tom, I think I'll let that for you later. You can talk with her. She is one lovely person, that's. She looks absolutely fabulous today.
Yes.
Well done, Laura. Tom, you're one lucky man to have her. But I tell you, you want to be very careful with her. There's a bad side to Laura as well, lads. Sorry, Tom. There a few weeks ago, myself and Tom and another couple of lads we hit up for break. Because no, Laura's going to be giving you the hall. So, the music started singing in the blood as well. I was missing. Laura's went to wreck my house on the same night. She thought she was Jane, Tarzan and Jane. She was swinging off the sky, holding the whole and off the ceiling. That's right, Laura, you put a lot off the skating. You must thank Paddy Scully for fixing with it. I'm looking at my cars, lads. I want to say next, but then I suppose I'll come up with something. No, I think I'll hand you over to Stephen there. Stephen might say a few words there for you. No, I think I'll hand you over to Stephen there. Stephen might say a few words there for you.
Before we look back, I'd like to welcome over to the family. Best of luck in the future, and hope you have a good night everybody. Congratulations, Tom and Laura. Best wishes and good luck from your old pals Sean, Cynthia, Jared and Julie. Congratulations, Tom and Laura. Sorry we can't be there to celebrate with you. Wishing you lots of luck, health and happiness. Love Marie, Pat, Eileen and Brady Sweet. Congratulations, Tom and Laura. Good luck and best wishes for your life together. From Patrick, Stacey, Kevin and Colin Sweet. Congratulations, Tom and Laura. Wishing you a wonderful life together. From Maureen, Randy, Aaron, and Kathleen Sweet. After Kevin.
How's it going? To Tom and Laura, congratulations and best wishes to you both. Thinking of you on a special day from Deborah, Claire, Carmen and Louise in Australia. To Tom and Laura, from Paddy and Mary Burke and also Mickey, Kay and family. Tom and Laura, hard to believe today is actually here. Time has gone so quickly since your engagement. Many, many congratulations to you both and hope you have a wonderful day to remember. Sorry not to be there, but thinking you both from Queensland, Australia. Lots of love, Michelle and Yanka. Mr. and Mrs. Collins, from the hard-working staff at Skibbereen Community Hospital. Have a great day. Christy, Paddy Joe, Con Mac, Paddy and Jerry. Kitty, Mary Daly, Julia, Mary the Island. Francis will arrive at Deception, armed with pigeons, commodes, and they're all booked in Dunmore for the night. Let it be and let it be. Wishing you the best luck for your future life together. See you later, all and Judy. And then we're back on the Johnny.
I'm already small and for later, but I like to call the father of the groom just to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. I had a few words in my head, but I'm afraid it sort of disappeared at this point in time. However, I'd like to say a few words anyway. especially with Laura. Laura came to Bray a few times. We haven't seen her very often, but she came to Bray and she made a very big impression on everybody in Bray. I think, I don't know if you've heard of singing in this part of the country, but her voice actually is beautiful. She's been to a few weddings and she has a great fan club from Bray at this stage, and we hope to hear her sing later on. I also want to pay a very special thank you to Nellie and to Michael for taking care of Tom, because he left our house probably about 7 years ago. He's going to come back, so he must make it very welcome down in this part of the country. And I have to really say that the welcome from the West Cork people has been fantastic, because everybody has spoken to come down and play over the weekend. They're really delighted with the people here and the accommodation. This is our tour wedding. 3 miles, thank God. Sorry, Sarah. However, I mean, what we have to do for a wedding is nothing. And I must pay congratulations to both Tom and Laura in the first case for organising things the way they have. It really is fantastic. And I have to say a very special thank you to Nellie and Michael for all the work they've done in their family. And also the bridesmaids as well. So could I just, I don't, maybe it's not, this isn't traditional, but could I just make a toast to the parents of the bride, please? Nellie and Michael. Thank you very much. I'll get back to Johnny again. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to call the father of the bride to say a few words.
Reverend Father, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Tom Collins, I'd like to welcome you all here today, and a special welcome to the Collins and Robinson family, also the Miles and Hazers, and if you'll indulge me, I'd like to welcome my mother, who's travelled from England. Over the last 3 weeks, I've been asked everywhere I've been, the big day's coming. Have you made your speech? Oh, no problem. I have that sorted out. And I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, God, what am I going to say? The legs were shaking. So, Johnny Maloney bought me a Bacardi and Coke. So I haven't drunk for the last 3 or 4 years. And it's nearly gone to my head, John. Thank you very much. So I thought I'll talk about what happened today. Tell a story. All started at 5:30 this morning. My wife, Nellie, got the elbow in bed. Are you awake? I am now. Walked to the window. It's raining. The wind is blowing. I knew this would happen. So anyway, Lee came home eventually. Beat me into the shower, as 5 women did. And he said, don't worry, it's gonna clear. So a special thank you to all the ladies and gentlemen out there who put the childhood prayer down last night. It worked. Thank you. Well, my story started, that was the 5:30. Sure enough, we went to town, had our breakfast. Laura, I had to pay for my own. Don't worry about it. And came home, all 5 women into the shower. He said, am I going to have a shave? He asked me the thing to do in the church. Done that. Came home, got into the shower eventually around 12 o'clock. 5 past 12 I thought, geez, I better get out. Time is running late. So everything was running smoothly. The bridesmaids were dressed, saw them dressed, they were gorgeous of course. And then I hadn't seen Laura's dress since she bought it. I didn't want to see it until today. And I stood at the bottom of the stairs when she came down. And well, I must admit she was the most gorgeous thing I saw in the 20 odd years of anyway, time was getting on, so shoved Nellie and a few others into the car, they dashed to the church. I took the bridesmaid, we didn't arrange that, so I took them down. My great uncle said, I said, look, take me back, we'll have to get the horse, keeping the horse waiting. Just in case he's done anything on the drive. So anyway, we finally, time arrived when myself and Laura got into the pony and trap. We were bouncing away, it was fairly rocky until we got to the turn of the wood. Then the road got smooth. And we were talking, the last thing I said to Laura was, are you happy? And she said to me, she was, and I don't think any father of the bride would wish anything for their daughter than to be happy. So Tom and Laura, I wish you the very best. And good luck. Thank you.
The time is surprised that this man, the one to call next, is going to be sweet. But this man is not stuck for words. So now I'd like to call Pat John Hayes. Come on, Pat John. You're never stuck for words. He's crying as well, I think.
Go on.
As I was sitting in the church today, I was rolling back the years, and I thought of two things. The first one being the most recent was the day Laura was christened. And I was chosen as one of the two who would take the responsibility of looking after her in the event of the unexpected happening. But thank God it didn't happen. And it reminded me of a story. There were these two couples living next door to one another. One had a 16-year-old son, and the other had a 16-year-old daughter. Well, there's no need for the hankies, this is not a sad story. It's nice. So, they had seen a notice where there was sing-song in a pub down the road, and they decided they'd go there. And the 16-year-old son said, I'm not interested in that kind. He said, I'm not going, I'll watch television. And the daughter said, oh, I have a pain in my head. She said, I don't think I'll go either. So they went back to their rooms to get freshened up, and what happened? And the mother said to the daughter, she said, you'll have to go. She said, you can't stay here on your own. I'll be worrying all night about you. So the daughter said, oh no, I'm all right. I'll be fine, go on away. Well, she said, be sure and lock your door now. And if that Johnny fella down the corridor comes up, don't let him in, because I'll be worrying about you. So they went out to the pub, they came back about 1 o'clock. The daughter was in bed, and the mother says to her, are you asleep? No, she said. Did anyone call? No. I was worried all night about you. Did that Johnny fella call? No. And the daughter said, you needn't worry about. The daughter said, he didn't call because I went down to his room. So you needn't worry now, his mother can do the worrying. So on that note, I will hand over my responsibility of looking after Laura to Tom. And the second thing I thought of was my first introduction to the missions in that church. It was way back in the early 40s. I was very young at the time. I don't know why my mother brought me there, but I suppose she thought it safer than to leave me to over through older sisters. Because the things they used to get up to when they were young, and the things they was putting the fire for fuel, I couldn't tell you anyway. I can still see that missioner up on the altar that night. A big man, well fed, and a head of foxy curls up on him. And there was no amplification in the church at that time, but he didn't need it. He was blessed with powerful lungs. He could get his message to the back of the church and beyond. Not that there was any need for the beyond in those days, because everybody who went to the mission went inside the doors of the church. And the subject of the sermon on that night was adultery. A delicate kind of a subject at any time. But the big difference between it then and now was very few people in the church knew what he was talking about. Of course, we all learned it off by heart when we go into school as being a grievous sin and the consequences thereof. But the one thing was, it was never explained to us how one could commit it. And it's many as the man and woman went to their grave without ever knowing whether they committed it or not. And he finished up his sermon with the statement that those of you who commit adultery will burn in the fires of hell for all eternity. Now the fires of hell back in the 40s were bloody hot, I can tell you. They've cooled off a lot since. There's been a lot of cutbacks. And for all eternity, well, that was worse than a life sentence. Because it didn't start until you were dead, and then went on forevermore. And the people left the church quietly and politely and made their way home, most of them on foot, which was the mode of transport at that time. And there were these two women walking down the road, out toward where we lived, Mary and Katie. Now Mary, an honest to God, good living, God-fearing woman, who knew nothing, God heavens. And Katie then on the other hand was similar, bit like myself, knew nothing but pretended to know everything. She was an authority on every subject under the sun, provided that you were prepared to believe the answer she'd give you. And as they were approaching the crossroads where they'd be parting company, which was known as the lodge at that time, Mary says to Katie, she says, what is adultery? And of course Katie would never be stuck for an answer, and she said, she said, breaking wind. What, says Mary? She said, farting, girl, farting. And away with her, leaving Mary in the middle of the road and the two legs crossed. And she didn't know whether to breathe in or breathe out. She was under a fair bit of pressure too, for she was after a shade of those spring onions for the tea. And it was a solid 5 minutes before she got things under control. And started on her journey home, and the journey home took about 3 times longer than normal, because under normal circumstances every step she'd take would cover a yard. But on this occasion she dare not put one leg no more than a foot in front of the other. It would be like putting the pillow to a hand grenade. And she arrived home in the state of grace, and she did a few jobs around the house, and then she decided she'd better go to bed. So she went upstairs and she did the normal things before you go to bed. Say your prayers, take off your clothes, and then there was this question of going to the toilet. Now back in the 40s, that was the era of outdoor sanitation in Ireland. Where the Irish people, they went out to go to the toilet and they went in to eat. But they did have a little vessel under the bed in case of emergencies. Like in the rich man's house, It was made of wire and it was called a chamber pot. But an old place at home, it was enamel and it was called a pour. Outside of a good saucepan with a little hand in it. It was a grand thing to piddle into. It was like hailstone on corrugated iron. And she thought about it, and then she decided that to get down for it and get down and do her bit in the business and get back up, it was too risky, so she said she'd hang on to it till morning. She rolled into bed, and of course there was no sleep because she was afraid she'd commit adultery when she was asleep. And there were farming people, and she got up very early in the morning and she turned in the cows, because her plan was to get to the church about 3/4 of an hour before Mass, hoping that she'd meet one of the missioners reading his office and that he'd hear her confession. So she started milking away her share of the cows, and it was hand milking at that time. Now, some of you might be familiar with it, more of you wouldn't. You get a stool if you had one, put it by the side of the cow and sit down on it, and then you shove a bucket in between your 2 legs. You take a pop in each hand and you milk away until you had all 4 milk. And this morning Mary was sitting on a nocturnal galvanized bucket, milking away and making her confession at the same time. Never heard the servant boy arriving. She was so taken up with what she was doing. Never knew a bit until he said, "Good morning, ma'am." Well, she was about 3 inches off the bucket, and she let go. All hell broke loose. The cows went mad. The servant boy thought the woman was gone mad, and for the full 10 minutes before there was a ceasefire. The meeting was finished and the breakfast was got for the 2 men, the husband and the servant boys. She wouldn't be having any breakfast because she'd be receiving and she'd have to be fasting from midnight the night before. Those were hard times. So she went out to the church and she got there in good time, and sure enough the young missioner was walking around reading his office, and she approached him and asked him to hear her confession. He said he would, of course, up into the sacristy, knelt down. "Bless me, Father, for I have sinned," and the confiteor. And he says, "Well, woman," he says, "how long has it been?" 2 days, Father, she said. Because when he heard of the 2 days, he was thinking there was something serious on. "And your sins?" "Oh, Father," she said, "I committed adultery." But he said, "When did that happen?" "Oh, no, an hour ago," she said. It was only 7 o'clock this time in the morning, and he was saying to himself, "It was Jasper shit on her." "Well," she said, "it wasn't my fault really." She said, "You know, I was milking the cow," she said, "and the servant boy came in, and it was all over before I knew what happened." And he said, "Has this happened before?" "Well, Father," she said, "not with the servant boy now," she said, "but on a regular basis when I'd be straining the pot of spuds for the dinner." And he noticed that she had a ring on her finger, and he said to her, "Is your husband living?" And she said, "He is." "And does he know about this?" "Oh, he does," she said, "but sure, he's a lot worse than me at it." "Well, he says to me that he's unladylike and he'd be giving out to me." "And what does he say to you?" "Well," she said, "Father, to put it politely to you, he says to me, 'You know, Mary,' he says, 'if you don't give that up, you'll tear that out yourself.'"
So cool.
The only way you can follow that is to invite Pajo to give other sermons at every church for the next year. Now, as we begin tonight, just to say to the bride and groom that in Greece, when there's a wedding, the bride and groom become king and queen for the day. So I want everyone to stand up, and we all bow to the Queen and King. And I must say, Your Majesty. Your Majesty. Now, essentially then, usually at a wedding, when the guests start clicking the glasses, the bride and groom stand up and they must keep kissing until we stop clicking the glasses. got exhausted already. Now, Laura and Tom, in Japan. I won't tell you what to do in Japan. But today, as we listen to the Word of God, I thought of, in the Old Testament, the Genesis. And this version of it goes like this. For 6 days God created the world, and then he rested. And then he created man, and neither since, neither God nor man have rested. But there's another version that goes like this. God created man, and he looked at him, and he said, I can do better. And he created the women. But Tom, I feel that you could do no better than what you did today to marry the special person that you married in Laura today. So I take this opportunity of congratulating you. But you deserve double congratulations. Because I think any man who has a judgment to marry a Union Hall woman deserves congratulations. And Laura is very special. A great organiser, a great person, everyone that knows her. And even to this extent, she was so persuasive that I didn't even go to Dublin to see Donegal playing today. For that, Laura, I need to thank you, because otherwise I'd have wasted a whole afternoon going up to see the Dubs beating us. But today we prayed for you and we wished you every blessing. But sometimes you can take a prayer too seriously, you know that? So these 4 fellas outside the maternity ward one day, and they were waiting patiently, some of them smoking cigarettes and all of that, and praying up and down, and eventually one of the nurses came out and she went up to one fellow and she said, congratulations, you're the father of a son. Thank God for that. He said, that's extraordinary. He said, I always prayed for St. Patrick. So a while after that, she came out, she went up to the other fellow, and she said, congratulations, you're the father of twins. And he said, isn't that extraordinary? I always prayed to Peter and Paul. So a while after that, she came out, she went up to the other fellow, and she said, congratulations, you're the proud father of triplets. And he said, isn't that extraordinary? I always prayed to Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Next thing, this other fellow passed out. All flat out on the floor. And the nurse came along and threw a drop of water over him. She got him up again. She said, in the name of God, she said, what's wrong with you? And he said, I prayed for 12 apostles. So Laura and Tom, this is a special day, beginning of a special life together. You have good dreams for yourself. Work to achieve your dreams and hold fast to your dreams. Because if your dreams should die, life becomes like a winged bird that cannot fly. Good luck. God bless.
I'd like to call on the man of the moment, Tom Collins. Thank you.
I'm overwhelmed, standing up here, just looking down. What a gang, what a crowd. Thanks very much for everybody coming. I'm going to do a general thank you to everybody. If I try to thank everybody tonight, I'd forget somebody. But I'd like to thank you all. Thank everybody involved in the day. Pat, Joe, you have some mind. If you thought up of those 2 things during the ceremony, you're right, man. I'd like to have a special thanks. About 6 months ago, I asked my station officer in Skibbereen, could I please have a guard of honour today? And he wasn't having any of it. But I was really proud that the civil defence and the fire brigade there today meant a lot to us both. There's so many people here today travelled. It's maybe an unusual way in that way. There's so many people have travelled here to get today, and there's a big crowd. I'd like to thank you all. I have one man in particular I'd like to thank. He travelled from Nigeria. That's my godfather, Pat Collins. Thanks very much. I'd like to thank everybody here today. Thanks very much. 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 Thanks very much.
parents for everything they've done for us. They've been very supportive throughout all the years. I'd like to thank Laura's parents for having her in the first place. And they've been very good. They've been absolutely brilliant. Not only the last 6 years, but the last few weeks, they've been very good. Thanks very much. How about the bridesmaids? Of course, I couldn't forget Laura. Laura's put an awful lot of time and preparation, I suppose the last 3.5 years, organising this day. I think she's done a very good job. Well done, Laura. Now, I have a special little present for somebody. My auntie there and Uncle Gary got married last week. Now, a small few flowers here. First of all, I have a bouquet for Laura's grandmother, Michael's mother, Emily Miles. Thanks very much for coming in. Small bouquet for Mrs. Miles. And of course, for my own mother, Bernie Collins. Now, that's it for me. I'm going to let my hair down for tonight. And
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to comment on how well the bridesmaids look today. Now I'd like to propose a toast for the bridesmaids. Next, I'd like to thank the hotel and what a wonderful meal we had today. Thank you very much. Tom, it's been a pleasure. I'll be your best man. Thank you, Tom. I was right at the say, lads. I had another small one this minute, but I forgot about it. When Tom met Laura first, they're going out, and next this one night, Tom, he walked Laura home. And the same night, I think Tom had a few points in him. He wasn't himself. So when they got to the house, Laura said, Tom, go home. So eventually, Tom started walking home, and he was at Christy McCarthy's corner. And Tom said, I'm not putting up with this at all, he said. So, being the strong man that Tom is, headed back for Miles' house. Checked all the windows, no good, no good. So, he searched down the yard, didn't he find the ladder? Sorry, Michael, I hope I've never read that ladder since. Up Tom went, in the bedroom window, he girls woke up in the morning, there Tom was.
5 minutes later, Danny.
5 minutes later, he said, Tom, you're fast. Hello, lads. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. I'd like to see all out dancing, and by the way, we have an awful lot of singers here tonight. To be like a song contest, I think, with the singers we have here. I actually received the fax about half an hour ago, and it says, Tom, Laura, when you go to bed tonight, take 4 daily papers with you. 2 people, 4 posts, no observers, and Tom as many times as you like tonight. I have no more to say to you. I hope you go on for the evening, and I hope you're going to rock this out tonight. Thank you very much.